Geddes will be choosing people today, so if you want to be chosen to come on stage, take off your jackets now. Otherwise, you can, if you're cold, just leave it on, and we'll know not to call you on stage. We're going to be calling children, some of them whose parents are here that want to be on stage, and some of our Queen and King assign of kindness also be coming on stage. When you come on stage, if you don't want to wear your crown, that will be fine because we're on live stream. All right, we have a visitor with us today. Uh-oh, do I have everybody here? Yes, I do. Okay. Mrs. Geddes has flown in this morning on an airplane with a very important topic, because I know some of you wanted to be the King and Queen of Kindness this year, but you just didn't know exactly how. So we've flown her in to talk to you today how you can become the King and Queen of Kindness for next year. Let's give her a hand.
Thank you. It is so great to be with you. You have a beautiful school and such nice teachers and parents. Thank you for coming. And I see the wonderful King and Queen that we have this year, right? I mean, that's awesome. And what we're going to look at today is exactly what Dr. Stewart just said, how every one of you can be a king and or queen of kindness every day at your house, in your school, when spring break and summer gets here. You can be the king or queen of kindness. How do you do that? Well, we're going to look at that today, and we're going to do some things. I have some people that are going to be coming up on stage, and I want to read to you just one verse up at the top. If you want to read with me, if you can see it up at the top. Kindness is what we're looking at, right? Well, that is part of the fruit of the Spirit. So read that top one with me if you can. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such thing there is no law. And 5:22 and 23. And there are many other verses. We're not going to read all the ones that are up there, and there are many more than that, where we are actually commanded by God to be kind. And you know what I think? I think it's super easy to be kind when somebody's nice to you. Y'all agree? It's easy. It's easy. When it gets really hard is when somebody's not nice to you, when you don't get your way, when it isn't fair, when somebody says something to you they shouldn't have said, or does something to you that they shouldn't have done. How many of you think that's harder to be kind then? Yeah. But you know what I know? And I know this because the Bible tells me so. Anybody can be nice to anybody who's nice. Where it really makes a difference is when they're not nice. That's what we need to be working on, right? And sometimes we just get really mad, or we get really hurt, or it's both. And we think, I can't even do this alone. And that's okay to say, Jesus, help me. I'm so mad right now. I know I shouldn't be, and I don't want to be, but I am. Will you carry this for me and help me not to be mad? And sometimes we need him, because kindness is one of the fruit. We didn't say fruits, we said fruit. Fruit of the Spirit. They work together. So let's take a look at some situations that we want to try to be kind, right? Even when we're hurt, and even if it's not a bully. And what if it is a bully? And what's the difference in a bully? That's what we're exploring today. Situations. Is it a bully? Is it not a bully? I also know this. We overuse the word bully, but bullies do exist. We have to remember that. Just because somebody did something mean doesn't make them a bully. But what does make them a bully? Well, let's see what you think first, all right? Is this a fact or a myth? Nothing can be done at school or home to stop bullying. Raise your hand if that's what you believe. That is a myth, which means it's not true. You're not born a bully. You choose to have bully behaviors, or you choose to sin and be mean, as do I. When I choose to be mean or choose to be nice, it's a choice. And people sometimes choose to be bullies, and they can choose not to be a bully, and we can help make that happen. And that's what we're looking at today. All right, only boys bully. Raise your hand if that's what you believe. That is a myth. You could be a boy or a girl, a kid, a teenager, adult. Doesn't matter. Anybody can choose to be a bully or not. People who bully have power over those they bully. Raise your hand if you agree. That is a fact. Now watch. They have power if we let them have power. But we can learn how to do some things to not give them that power. And again, that's what we're going to look at today. All kids will outgrow bullying. Raise your hand if you agree. That is a myth. You know why? It's not something you're born with or not. You don't outgrow it. You choose it or you don't choose it. Adults choose to be a bully or choose not to be a bully. So it's not about outgrowing it. People who bully are insecure and have low self-esteem. Raise your hand if you agree. That is a myth. Some do, but here's the tricky part. If we're not careful in reading our Bible and praying and staying close to God, do you know what can happen? We can get deceived by the enemy, by the devil. He can make us get our thinking off track, and we think, hey, I'm a great person if I can bully somebody and have some power. That's not right. But do people sometimes think that? They do. They're wrong. That doesn't make them better, but they think it does. And they move on that. And that's why we want to learn today how to respond with kindness and help others be kind when they're not so kind. Because they may have low self-esteem, they may have a false high esteem, right? Depending. It can be either way. So, spreading rumors is a form of bullying. Spreading rumors is telling something that you don't know if it's true or not, but you're telling people as if it's true. And the answer to that one is that it is a fact. Does that mean if I usually don't spread a rumor, but tomorrow I spread one, that I am now a bully? No. What makes you a bully, watch me, do this with your hand. If you do it lots of times over lots of days. Lot of times, many days. That makes it a bully. But is spreading a rumor right to do? No, it's wrong. It's a sin. It's not kind. And if I do it a lot and I make a habit of it, I have now moved into a bully by spreading rumors. Bullying often resolves itself when you ignore it. Do you agree that's a fact? That is a myth. If you ignore it, it might not go away. That person might gain power. They might continue to make more people uncomfortable, which means you would need to deal with it. And we're going to learn today when we leave things alone and when we choose to deal with it. You don't have to deal with everything. You do need to deal with some things, and you need to learn how to know the difference. But if you're being bullied or somebody's being bullied and it's happening, what is it? Lots of times over many days, then don't ignore it. We need to deal with it. All right, here's what we're going to do. I want about 7 people, and I'll pull some more throughout. So if you don't get called on the first round, hang in there. There's some more rounds coming. And in the end, everybody's going to do a role play from your seat. So I need 7 people. Can the teachers or parents help me? And first of all, if you're a parent and you are here, stand up. And let me see how many of you, because you can send your kid my way. That way you can be sure to see them. I think that we definitely, send me your kids. If your parents here, come up here. First wave, we'll do that. Unless they don't want to come. If they're like, no, they don't have to. But if they want to, send them on. Okay. And then I'm going to bring some up whose parents aren't here. That way we have some of both. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to get 1. And you come on. And 2 from, yep, and then 3. So I have 1 from each section. And I will get some more on the next wave. All right. So first of all, I'm going to have 3 of you do this first role play, and I'm going to ask for these 3 to stay here in the middle, and then you and you step back for a moment. I'll get you in a moment, and you step back. Okay, so hang tight, and I'll call you up when it's time, all right? So in this scenario, we have 3 kids that ride a bus. Now, if you don't ride a bus, don't think, this doesn't apply to me, because what's going to happen here is they're going to tease a boy on the bus. Could have been a girl, could have been a boy. The point is he's being teased. So if you have ever seen anybody get teased, if you've ever been the one that you were teased, or you were the teaser, this example can apply to you. Okay, so you're in the middle. Can you be the one being teased and handle it? Okay, because these are all wonderful kids that wouldn't do what we're about to see them do. And so we know this isn't real, we're just role-playing, okay? You're going to make fun of him. Tease him about his shirt, his hair, I don't care. Pick something because he looks so handsome. There's nothing to tease him about, but just make something up. All right, you're going to watch when she does this, because she's going to go ha-ha and say something, and then you're going to choose to join her in making fun of him. Okay, and if y'all will step back in front of the mic so we can hear you. All right, so let the inappropriate teasing begin. You're on.
I don't like your shirt. Your glasses are weird.
Say that again.
Your glasses are so weird.
Okay. And I love your glasses. Those are awesome. Awesome. They're laughing because he said it funny, and you look great. But let me ask you folks, does this happen in real life? Yes, it does. And I don't want anybody on stage's feelings hurt because we're just role-playing right now. Everybody get that, right? Say, you really do look great. Say it. Help me. Yeah, you really do. But let's go back to our role play. Because what happened here, he did not choose to, it wasn't your choice. I made you make a wrong decision. But in our role play, he did not choose to be a helpful bystander. In this example, he chose to join somebody who was making a wrong decision, which you wouldn't do that, but you did in the role play, right? That happens in life. He could have made another choice. So we're going to replay this. And this time, because see, he quit riding the bus because this happened so much. He didn't want to be made fun of anymore, right? So what happens is, let's bring a 4th one. Come here. You come over, and you hear this. So they say it again, and you might end up being sad. He might be mean. He might act like he doesn't care, but he's hurting inside. So it happens again, and you come around and you try to stop it by encouraging them not to make fun. So how might you say for them to not make fun? Say, come on, guys.
Come on, guys, stop bothering him.
All right, now, they could, first of all, say, no way, man. Say, no way, I'm not stopping.
No way, I'm not stopping.
And then he says,
Oh, yes, you are.
and that's cool. He might say, and then he might say, how would you feel? Say it like you would say that.
How would you feel if they did that to you?
Now, let's assume that she's able to see that without any additional help. We might have to get a teacher involved. We might not. But let's assume she really begins to see that. Yeah, you're right. Why am I doing that? What might you say? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, here's something that's necessary. She's got to apologize to him. He has to forgive her. He has to apologize to him. And he has to forgive him. That's very important. So let's go ahead. Say, will you please forgive me for not being kind?
Will you please forgive me for not being kind?
Yeah.
And then he's got to say it too because he joined in.
Would you forgive me for not being kind? Yep.
If he didn't forgive, do you know who gets hurt? Possibly God and Jesus. He's the one that gets hurt. Did you know that? If you're the one that you won't forgive, it hurts you. You start carrying all that heavy burden, and it will eventually just eat at you till you're miserable. So it's necessary. God commands us to forgive. That's part of what it takes to truly love. And the Bible's very clear about loving our enemies even, not even just the people that are nice to us. Would you please give these four a big hand? They did a fabulous job. Did we have you talk as a teacher? He didn't talk yet, did he, as a teacher? Did I have him talk? Yeah. So he's our teacher. I'm going to have you talk again in the next one, so hang tight, all right? Could you guys please introduce your names? Let's hear who you are.
My name's Emily.
My name's Nathaniel. My name's Yosef. My name is Romani.
Give him one more big hand, and then you three go. You hang tight. You're going to be the teacher one more time. Okay. Next, I need you two to come up. These are two sisters. Are you really sisters? Yeah, okay. So they're sisters for today. They're today's sisters. So what happened is you took her phone without asking, okay? And you found that she took it without asking, and you're very angry. So you're going to tell her how you feel about that. And you are not going to respond with kindness. You're going to be mad that she's mad, even though you messed up. Okay, go.
Why did you take my phone? Because it's not even yours.
Well, here's a good point. At your age, your parents do own your phones, so she's right. She could say it's mom's anyway, or dad's anyway, but still, you could say it's not even yours, and you're going to say, yeah, but it's mine to use.
Yeah, but it's mine to use. But it's not really yours, it's mom's phone.
Now, you're going to get real mad, but you didn't ask me, and it's mine.
But you didn't ask me and it's mine. But is it yours?
So they just go on and on. They go their own way. They're both mad. They're not talking now, right? They sit down on their bed, and they start thinking about it. And they start realizing, I wasn't kind. We've been working on being king and queen of kindness. I remember things I've learned at school. So you come in, and you apologize to her for taking the phone and for being sassy about it not being hers.
Sorry. It's okay.
But we're going to be specific. That was a okay sorry, but let me show you one that's not. Sorry. So sorry. That's not sorry, right? I apologize for, and I need to say what? I don't need to have an attitude. That is a smart aleck way to not really own your behavior, to go, sorry. Drives me nuts when people do it. So, okay, so you're gonna apologize appropriately.
Sorry.
For taking your phone.
For taking your phone.
And you hand it back. Now, what does she have to do?
Apologize.
She has to forgive for the apology and apologize. You're right. So let's forgive.
Well, I forgive you for taking my phone.
And I'm sorry.
And I'm sorry.
For the way I responded.
For the way I responded.
I should have responded with kindness.
I should have responded with kindness.
And you say,
I should have responded for kindness too.
and I forgive you.
And I forgive you.
Wonderful. Give them a big hand. And would you tell us your name?
Jayla.
And?
Rihanna.
And give them one last big hand, and you guys can have a seat. Thank you. Okay, you're going to be our teacher, and you two are going to be, actually, you're going to hold back a second. I'm going to hold you for the next one, okay? Only have your hand up if you haven't been up here, because I'm trying to get different people each time. Okay, right here and right here. I'll get more. I'm not through. Okay, so you two are going to hold back, because I'm going to do two boys wrestling right here. All right, so these two boys are brothers, and they're wrestling, or they're good friends. Either way. So you guys are wrestling. just gently kind of, like you do. Yeah, only. Okay, stop. All right, stop. That's good. Hold it. Okay. Copy that picture. All right. Now, neither one of them are really upset. They're just having fun, right? But you are mad at him for something else. And you decide to twist it and to go tell the teacher that he hurt you when you're not hurt. You were having fun. But you go, ooh, I can get him in trouble now. So go tell a lie and make a story up.
He slapped me in the face. My brother slapped me in the face. Why did he do that? Because he did it for no reason.
He what?
He did it for no reason. But why would he do it for no reason? Because he don't like me. Well, get him over here. Why did you slap him in the face? I didn't.
Okay, we're going to stop here. That was perfect because let me tell you what just happened. This is so real for life. Watch this. When we listen and we don't find facts, we might move on something that didn't really happen. Pure motive. He's trying to solve a problem. But did he gather the facts first? That was a perfect way to role play this because you made the exact point I wanted to make, which is the first step is to say, can you tell me what happened? Can you tell me what happened? I like for kids to do that on paper, whether you're drawing a picture, writing the words out, and then tell me about it. So I hear separate stories, and then I can figure out better what happened. So you ask what happened, you ask what happened, you get to the bottom of it, and then what happens is we realize you made it up, right? So now you're going to say to him,
What happened? Well, we were play wrestling, and then he just made a lie. Oh, did he? Yes. I need to talk to him. What happened? We were play wrestling, and then when I was about to go to the bathroom, he just slapped me in the face. Well, I heard something else. What you heard?
smart.
Well, I heard that you actually started the fight. No, I didn't. He did.
So then we question and we find out that you really did make it up. It really just was play interacting. We talk about appropriate goofing around and what needs to happen to the one that made the story up. You apologize. So let's go for that.
Sorry. It's okay.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Yes, I forgive you. And then we need to tell the teacher, right? Because we've involved the teacher. So what did we say to our teacher? I'm sorry it wasn't truthful to you. So now we've taken it and compounded our lie, right, multiple times to try to cover, which you don't want to do. But if you do, apologize and forgive and move forward. All right? Would you please give our three boys a big hand? And tell us your name one more time.
Hermione, Julian, Nathan.
Big hand. You guys can have a seat. Thank you so much. All right. And I need, well, we've got you two coming up. This will be an interesting one with two girls. And then I need two more. I'm going to get my other two. Which of the queens and kings haven't been up yet? Okay, if you're a queen or king and you haven't been up, come up. And then when I finish with the queen, anybody not been up yet? Queen and kings? Come on. If you've already been, don't come again. Anybody here not been up yet? Okay. So, let me deal with, I'm going to let you two do this one. You two. And you'll wait right back there and I'll get you next time, okay? Perfect, thank you. Okay, so she's got a hamburger. She steals her hamburger every day. So she takes it at lunch. Next day, she takes it. Next day, she takes it. Next day, she takes it. And what did I tell you about bullying? For lots of days, lots of times, many days. So what happens is, okay, now let me have you here. So he's over here. Now, you're a bystander, and you see this happening. What are you going to do? She keeps taking her hamburger.
Stop it.
Next day, she takes a hamburger, and now what are you going to do? Okay, you're going to come here. He's the teacher. You're going to go to the teacher, and you're going to tell him, we got a problem. So tell him.
We got a problem.
Well, you're telling the teacher, we've got a problem.
We've got a big problem here.
And you say?
What kind of problem?
Well, so today at lunch, I saw that girl over there. She took her hamburger at lunch, and it just keeps happening every single day.
Why'd she take the hamburger for her lunch?
I don't know, must be hungry.
But that's not the right thing.
I know, that's why I'm telling you.
So, that's an excellent point, because if somebody is taking food all the time, maybe they are hungry, and the teacher could check into that and see, is there a problem where perhaps they're hungry? Maybe it's not malicious. They might just be inappropriately handling a problem that needs to be solved, or maybe it's malicious. She's just trying to take her food. We don't know till we check it out. But what this young man did as a helpful bystander is help bring a problem to light that needs to be fixed. And he did it in an appropriate way. It wasn't malicious. It wasn't to just tattle. It was a great way to be a leader and say, we've got a problem, I need to solve it. Teacher did a great job with questioning, and then we go in, solve the problem, and what does she need to do? So she apologizes.
Sorry for taking your sandwich every day.
And
It's
she
okay.
says, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's okay.
There we go. And we've either got her food or figured out what else was going on. So if you could give them a big hand, please. All right, and you are?
Charlize.
And
Jacqueline. Ian.
Jude.
another big hand, you guys and girls can have a seat. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. All right, for you two, come on up. And you're reading. I want you to mispronounce a word and make a mistake on purpose, okay? And when she does this, you're not going to be very nice. You're going to make fun of her, and you're going to laugh every time she makes a mistake. So just make a mistake on purpose. Okay, go.
Please complete
good conduct and gold star forming the return to me by
And then hopefully a teacher comes in to deal with it, right? So here's what, so we'll stop, and let's assume that she might be so embarrassed now, she doesn't want to read out loud again. In fact, if this happened, if he were a bully, and it happened many days, many times, teachers here aren't going to let that happen. But if it did in another place before they came here, she might, as a new student to the school, be embarrassed to read out loud. And we wouldn't know why, because this could have happened before she came here. And we've got to figure that out, because then she's going to be super quiet, and she won't talk, and we have to know why, right? But if it happened here, and it's not a bully case, it was just a case where he made a poor choice. Maybe he was trying to be funny, and it wasn't a good way to try to be funny. Maybe it's how he felt, because he was in a mean mood. I mean, sometimes we're just in a mean mood, and sometimes we make a bad judgment for what we think is a funny joke, and it's at somebody else's expense. Either way, we come around, and she says to him, how you feel. Tell him how it feels when he does that to you.
I feel embarrassed when you do that.
Very well said. And then you say,
I'm sorry.
I was just trying to be funny.
I was just trying to be funny.
I'm such a good reader, you know.
I'm such a good reader.
Now watch. Thank you so much for letting me play with y'all here. I know you would not do this. So let's say he did it, though, because he is a good reader, right? Let's just say. Well, it's easy for me. How many times have we done that? That's easy. That's easy. Remember, when you say it's easy, if somebody else is struggling, that might make them feel bad. Now, I would like to get to the point in life where I can say, this is my strong area, this is my weak area, and I'm working on it. And when you say it's easy, it doesn't bother me. That's where I'd love for everybody in this room to get. But how many of you would say everybody's probably not there right now? We have to work to get there. Some people get very self-conscious when somebody else goes, well, that's easy. So just be sensitive to that. If somebody's struggling, you want to be kind and helpful. So she might say, well, you know, reading's a little bit difficult for me. Say it.
Well, reading's a little bit difficult for me.
And then you might say, I'm so sorry, I just didn't think about that.
I'm so sorry, I just didn't think about that.
I'll be more sensitive to that going forward.
I'll be more sensitive of going forward.
And then he says, will you forgive me?
Will you forgive me?
And she says,
Yes.
yes. There we go. Give him a big hand. Wait, you've got to tell me your name. Okay, and you are?
I'm Juliana.
Jonathan.
Thank you. Thank you, Jonathan, for letting us pick on you. I know you would not do those things. All right, now I need 3 more people. Y'all have not gone yet? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Come on. I'm not through. Hold tight. We're going to do this one for now. Okay. You are new to the country, and you don't speak much English, and you two are friends over here. So what happens is she says a word, and you guys make fun of her. Yeah, just any word, mispronounce it.
Techa?
And go ahead, laugh. Laugh at it. Laugh at her, yeah. That's not how you say that. All right, so you guys kind of laugh at her. Now, who wants to come up and try to be a bystander and solve this without me telling you what to say? You got to be independent thinker here. Who can do that? Right there. Come on. Oh, you can. Both of you can come up. He can. Come on. Both of you. Y'all do it together. So it happens again, and she mispronounces a word, and you two laugh again.
What do you Americans call this? Sandwich?
And you guys laugh. And you two are going to be bystanders that help solve it. How would you solve this?
Stop it. Don't make fun of her like that.
And they might even come over here and say it in private, right, to try to keep her from being embarrassed. So you two come over here, and you just decide to join in because you're both just wanting to be great leaders with kindness. So what are you two going to tell them? Step up to the mic.
She's from a different country. You shouldn't be laughing at her for mispronouncing a word. Yeah, and she maybe feel embarrassed about it.
And we want her to make new friends, right? So then what do you guys say? You go, oh, and you finally go, yeah, it's true, I didn't think about that. So say that. I didn't think about that.
I didn't think about that.
I didn't mean to hurt her.
I didn't mean to hurt her.
And so then you all 4 go over and talk to her and ask her to join you in whatever it is you guys do at recess or fun time in the day, before, after school, lunch. Ask her to join you for lunch.
Okay.
Give a big hand. That was great. But what's left? What do they need to do? Yeah, we're so sorry. We're so glad you're here. Say that.
We're so sorry. We're so glad you're here.
And welcome her to America.
Welcome to America.
Thank you.
All right, now give us your name. One more big hand. And give us your names, and you guys can have a seat. All right, you are?
My name is Shalandi.
All righty, and your name?
Neilani. Beyonce.
Gabriella.
Takai.
All right, big hand for these 5 wonderful actors. You guys did a great job. Okay, so if you think about all the great acting that we just had, some of these cases, we could have had a bully scenario, right? Because a bully, it could be a bully if it's, ready? Lots of times over many days. Either way, it's a sin to not be kind. And we don't want to be unkind. We want to be kind, and we want to be helpful. Say this word with me, bystanders. What's a bystander? It's a person that observes something that happens, and they can choose to either help solve the problem, or, let me just tell you this, to not make a decision is to make a decision. Say that with me. To not make a decision is to make a decision. Let me explain that. If I choose to be a bystander that sits here and ignores it because I say, I don't want to get involved, do you know I just made a decision? So to not make a decision is to make a decision. I chose not to help. That was a decision. So I can't just say, I was just a bystander. Yeah, and what did you do as a bystander? I don't ever want you to put yourself in a dangerous position. You guys are kids. The wonderful thing about being a kid is if it's a dangerous position, you go to a teacher or an adult. That's how you can be a helpful bystander and not get yourself hurt. Does that make sense? But if it's something where you're not going to get hurt, be a helpful leader. And that's how you become a king or queen of kindness. All right? So here's what I want you to do. We're going to do a quick little role play with a partner. Turn and identify your partner sitting next to you that you're going to talk to. Say hi. Okay. Now, I want you to decide between the two of you who is awesome, you're going to be A, and who is brilliant, you're going to be B. So who's awesome and who's brilliant? And when you hear chimes, that means finish what you're saying in 5 seconds, and then they'll hear me say 1, freeze, 2, look at me, and then I'll give you directions. That way we can go back and forth faster, okay? So if you are the awesome person, I want you to look at your brilliant partner and make a nasty, yucky face. Mean. All right, brilliant person. You're going to respond incorrectly, and you're going to make a mean face back. All right, next, you both have to apologize because you both made a mean face. So please do that. Apologize and accept. All right, now, 1, freeze, 2, look at me, 3, I'm going to change it. We're going to make a nasty face again. If you are the brilliant person, you do it first and make a nasty face. Awesome person, I want you to respond appropriately. What would be a kind way to respond to somebody that didn't treat you fairly? This person has no reason to give you an ugly face, and they did. So how will you respond? Nicely. And then what happens to brilliant? They have to apologize. And awesome, you must accept it. Okay, 1, freeze, 2, look at me, and 3, here we go. You guys have done a great job so far. I want you to look up here on the screen, and I want us to read the second verse together. All right, this is from Matthew 5, 43 to 45, where we are commanded by God to love our enemies. And see, when you respond to somebody who doesn't treat you fairly, they're not kind to you, right? That is doing what this verse says. So help me with this, okay? Ready? You have heard that it was said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, that you may be children of your Father in heaven. He causes his sun to rise on the evil and the good, and sends rain on the righteous and the unrighteous. And the bottom line to that is we are commanded to love our enemies. So you want to be a king or queen of kindness, you're going to respond the right way when somebody does something to you that isn't what we wanted to have happen to us. We're to turn the other cheek. In fact, when we talk about responses, I have 3 really important things for you to think about. And this is really important at the age that you're at. If you can begin to think like this, you can avoid a lot of things as you get older. Make very wise decisions if you think like this. If someone has done something to me, and you can think of any of the role plays we just observed, or if you participated in it, and somebody's not nice to me or doing something wrong, I can, number 1, choose to drop it. Now, I'm going to say this to you. Have you ever had someone come up to you and go, "You're stupid"? Okay, watch. I have twins. I have a boy and a girl at home in Texas, and they're really great kids. They're very kind usually. And they have had moments where they're not kind to each other. Not many, but some. And when one of them might have called the other one stupid, do you know what I said? "You are stupid." No, I didn't say that. I'm joking. No, that's a bad joke. No. You know what I said to the one? "Why would you be unkind to this other one?" And you know what I said to the other one? "Why are you that upset over it? That didn't make you stupid." I wanted both of them to realize you don't have to be mean to someone else, but if someone else is mean to you, you don't have to let it rock your day. You don't, right? Because your attitude is the one thing nobody can change. Nothing in life changes your attitude. You choose your attitude. If you have bad things happen to you in a day, you can still come out of that day going, "You know what? It was still a pretty good day. And I'm going to deal with the things that are problems, but I'm going to focus on the good parts of this day when I lay my head down to go to bed tonight and be grateful for the things." Your brain cannot be thankful and mad about something else at the same time. If you focus on what you're grateful for, it will help you. I'm not saying ignore problems. You see number 2? I can't drop it. I have to deal with it because it's bothering me and I care about this person and I really need to work out this problem. And if that's the way you feel, when my kids come to me, they're talking to me for a long time because when we solve the problem, I want to hear everybody's story. They're going to write it down. They're going to tell me what they think the other person said. I understand you're saying this. I understand you're saying this. I understand this hurt you. I understand this. It's long because we're going to solve it right. Because if they really care and they can't move on, then they're going to want to deal with it, and we will deal with it right. So they're going to decide, number 1, I don't think it's worth that kind of time, and I really can let it go. Or number 2, it's worth the time. Let's deal with it. There's a third one. You guys are going to be getting to the age very soon. Some of you may be there now where there are some people that just aren't a good influence on you. And you're going to have to decide that I can't really solve this problem. As adults, we deal with that too. There are some people in our adult world that just want to make problems. And they're going to find somebody to have a problem with. And you can spend your whole life being consumed with those people, or you can go, "You know what, I can't fix it. And this person's not a good influence on me. I'm not going to be hateful. I'm going to respond with love, but I'm not going to be spending my time with them because it's a bad influence on me." Do y'all follow me with that? And that is very important in life. If you can master when to choose which one of this 1, 2, and 3, you can avoid a whole lot of problems in your life and be a change agent for good. So say this with me, okay? What's the first choice? Drop it and move on. Ready? What? Drop it and move on. All right, what's my second choice? I can't drop it. Deal with it. Number 3, I can't drop it. So move on. And you make those wise decisions that'll help you in life to be a king or queen of kindness. I want you to look at these bottom 3 bullets, okay? Don't be assuming what somebody thinks. You may not know. And this is the other really important part, all right? Look at your face. Look at your neighbor's face. Make a happy face. How does that feel when you're looking at somebody who's smiling? Take your hands and look tense. Look stressed. Now let them go and look relaxed. Do you see what that communicates looking at somebody's movements in their face? Remember, your body communicates, and watch what you say, and watch how you say it without words, because that can make a very big difference in being kind or not sending a kind message. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at what bullying is. Look up at the screen, all right? I've told you a little bit about bullying. It's something that happens a lot of times over many days, right? And I want you to just know 6 ways that people might be a bully to you, and you might need to see somebody that's being a bully to somebody else to get help. All right? So say this word with me. Say verbal. Okay, what that means is I can say ugly things to you, and if I do it lots of times over a lot of days, that's bullying. If I do it on occasion, it's an unkind sin. It might be lack of self-control, but it's something I need to work on. All right, next, say psychological. Watch me. That can be bullying or just unkind. Depends on how often you're doing it. But it is not nice. Watch me do 2 at once. Whatever. Oh, that's not a good thing to say to me. Don't do that. That is disrespectful. Whatever. That's verbal and psychological mixed together. All right, the one on the right. Ready? It's physical. Say that with me. Physical. That's hitting. Somebody's physically pushing somebody. That's a sin, and it's not kind. If you're physically pushing, do this with me, lots of times, over many days, then it would roll into being a bully. All right, 3 more ways. These 3 are not direct. The first one is exclusion. Ready? Say that with me. Exclusion. Can I tell you this? I've seen this in Florida. I've seen it in Texas. I've seen it in the U.S. and out of the U.S., and that is where people leave people out. And that's not kind. And we role-played some of that on the stage, and you guys solved it in a nice way. Second is gossip. Say that with me. Gossip. If I don't know it's true, I shouldn't repeat it. Let me tell you something else. If you're not in the room, I should only be saying nice things about you. Right? If I got an issue with you, we need to be dealing with it. Shouldn't be talking behind your back about anybody's back about anything. If you've got a problem, you talk to them, or it can fall into gossip. Does that make you a bully if you gossip once? No, it's a sin. It's not kind. If you gossip many times, many days, then it becomes bullying. Do y'all see my point with bullying? Yes. If it's a big problem, lots of times, it's bullying. If not, it's just a sin, and don't do it. All right, the last one. Ready? It's called relational aggression. Say that with me. Relational aggression. Let me tell you what that is. Don't be her friend. I don't like her. I don't know why. I don't like the way she dresses. She just irritates me. And I don't really like her mom either. Don't be her friend. Is that okay to do? That's so ugly and mean. How would I like it if somebody did that to me? I would not. I would not. You need to see through other people's eyes. It wouldn't be nice. And I don't need to tell somebody who to be a friend with and who not to be a friend with. Does it make me a bully if I do that once? No. But if I do it lots of times over lots of days, either way, it's a sin. Don't do it. Would you please read the sentence at the top with me? Kindness is love in action. We are commanded to love. Now, I want you to read with me the top verse in Titus 3, 4-5. Ready? But when the kindness and love of God our Savior appeared, He saved us, not because of righteous things we have done, but because of his mercy. And that verse is really important. You know why? God died for us to pay the price for our sins. And when we get mad at somebody else, we need to remember what he did for us. And we need to forgive people and have mercy. And if there's an issue that needs to be solved and you need help, get it. But we've got to remember, to be a king and queen of kindness, we've got to look at what our king did. And we've got to be kind to others and lead in a way that we, number one, can be kind whether people are nice to us or not. Number two, be a helpful bystander, right? And try to lead for kindness. And you guys have been awesome. They've done a great job being a great audience. I want to thank you, and I want to encourage you to enjoy the rest of your year. And your spring break's coming up, right? And try to be that king and queen of kindness every day in every place you go.
All right. Let's give Miss Getty's a big hand. All right. Now, parents, if you have not checked in, be sure that you sign the paper down front. If you brought other people with you, they can sign on that too and put the same student's name. So you'll be in our drawing for the free registration. And if you have your parent here, then I want you to go ahead and give them a hug right now. Some of our queens and kings might even be leaving for the day. Okay, third grade, I'm going to have you go ahead out the door. Parents, we also need your, what do you call it? The evaluation form before you leave. And parents, Ms. Geddes is here to answer any questions you might have. If you want to come down front and ask any questions.
And I want to thank you parents for coming. I know all the parents couldn't come, so some of you have parents that couldn't make it. But for those that could, we really appreciate you giving your time.
Amen. Okay, third grade is leaving. We'll go ahead.